I never thought 15 seconds could burn my whole life down, but that morning proved me wrong. I was tying my shoes when Liam called and asked, "Bro, what did you say to Ava?" I laughed because I thought he was joking. "Nothing," I said. "We just ended things." But he sounded tense. "Man," she posted a voice note, "you sound dangerous in it." My stomach dropped as I opened my phone and hit play. My own voice blasted out, chopped and twisted, yelling lines I never said. "Ava, if you open your mouth again, I'll then it cut." 15 seconds. Just enough to paint me as a monster. Before I could breathe, messages hit my screen. "You're sick. Stay away from her. I knew you had issues." I called Ava. She declined. I called again. Voicemail. "Why would you do this to me?" I whispered. I called Liam next. "You know I didn't say that," I told him. "You've seen us argue. I never threatened her." He stayed quiet too long. "It sounds real," he finally said. "Because she edited it?" I snapped. He sighed. "I don't know, man. I need space." At work, Mr. Carson pulled me into his office. "I heard about the situation," he said carefully. I opened my mouth to explain, but he raised a hand. "For safety reasons, I have to suspend you." "Safety," I repeated. "Sir, I didn't do anything." He looked away. "Take the week off." I walked out feeling hollow. People avoided me like I carried a disease. I muttered, "This is insane. This is not real." I tried calling Liam once more. "Please just listen," I said. But he answered with, "Bro, everyone saw it." "I can't defend you right now." His words hit harder than anything else. I wanted to scream, to shake him, to make him believe me, but all I managed to say was, "I thought you knew me." I texted Ava, "Please talk to me." "You know, this isn't me." Well, she replied, "Stop contacting me. I'm scared." 5 words. 5 knives. When I tried to respond, I realized she had blocked me. By afternoon, the voice note was everywhere. Comments poured in. Some students tagged me and wrote things like, "Men like him should be locked up." My hands wouldn't stop shaking. My chest felt tight. I kept replaying the breakup, wondering what I did to deserve this. Did she want revenge? Attention. Power. I sat outside my building with my head down. Liam finally texted, "Give her space." "You hurt her." "I didn't hurt her," I replied. No answer. When I got home, I didn't turn on the lights. I sat on the floor, staring at nothing. My phone buzzed nonstop, but I couldn't look. I already knew I was being dragged through the dirt. I whispered, "Ava, why?" Time blurred. The world felt cold, cruel, unreal. I felt myself sinking, like my name was being peeled off me piece by piece. No one believed me. And the worst part was knowing Ava was somewhere laughing while I was falling apart. Then something inside me shifted. Not rage clarity. A sharp, cold focus. I spoke into the darkness. "If no one will give me justice, I'll take it myself." I stood up, wiped my face, and felt my heartbeat steady for the first time today. "I won't forgive this," I said. "I won't forget." And then I said the promise that started everything. "Ava Miller, you ruined my name in 15 seconds. Now I'll spend the time it takes making you feel what I felt." I spent the next few days moving like a shadow. "Dad!" Every time I opened my phone, I whispered, "Show me what you're hiding, Ava." Her posts looked perfect flowers, friends, fake smiles, but I checked the tags, the comments, the timing. I muttered to myself, there has to be a pattern. One afternoon at campus, a girl stopped me. "You're a VA's ex, right?" she asked. I hesitated. "Who's asking?" She smiled a little. "Sarah. I sit with her in psychology." I didn't trust the friendliness. "You're here to tell me I'm a monster too?" She shook her head. "Relax, I actually wanted to ask something." "Did she ever exaggerate things with you?" I raised an eyebrow. "Why?" Sarah looked around and lowered her voice. "'Cause she does it a lot. She tells dramatic stories to get attention." My pulse jumped. "So she lies." She nodded slowly. "More than you think. Don't repeat that I said anything." "I won't," I told her. And for the first time, someone didn't look at me like I was poison. But outside, the world still treated me like a danger sign. My neighbor, Mrs. Hill, whispered loudly, "Don't get in the elevator with him." At work, Jason from accounting stepped aside when I walked by. Even the barista at the cafe handed me my cup with 2 fingers, as if touching me was a risk. Every whisper chipped away at me. I'd walk home clenching my fists, repeating, "You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything?" Shame has teeth and it kept biting. One night, I went out to clear my head. The streets were quiet. My chest felt heavy, like someone was sitting on it. Then I heard her laugh. Fava's laugh, light and sweet. The same one she used when she wanted something. I froze behind a tree. Ethan Ward stood beside her. He was tall, clean-cut, the kind. A guy who looked like he'd never been blamed for anything in his life. He wrapped an arm around her. She leaned into him like she hadn't destroyed me days ago. I whispered, "You're fine, aren't you?" Ava giggled again. "Ethan, you're impossible," she said, hitting his arm. He smirked. "Well, you like impossible things." They kissed. I felt something crack deep inside, quiet, sharp, final. She ruined me, and moved on like I was a deleted file. I walked home with a single thought: no more waiting. The next morning, I looked over old messages she once bragged about, excuses, fake stories she told her professor to skip class. One stood out: a lie about a family emergency on the day she was actually out shopping. I whispered, "Let's test how honest you look now." I gathered screenshots, receipts, and timestamps. I wrote a short note to her professor: "You might want to check this." She wasn't truthful about her absence. No threats, no anger. It's just truth. Hours later, my phone buzzed with news from Sarah. Ava got a warning email. She's freaking out. She thinks someone's watching her. I smiled for the first time in days. "Maybe someone is," I whispered. It was a small hit, just a tap against her perfect wall. But I felt the ripple. And I knew it was only the beginning. When the warning email hit Ava, something inside me woke up. But I told myself, if you want to break her world, you need skill, not luck. So I walked into a small tech repair shop off Main Street and asked the man behind the counter, "You hiring part-time?" He looked up over his glasses. "Depends. You know anything about tech?" "Not enough," I said, "but I can learn fast." He studied me for a moment. "Name, just call me Ian." He nodded. "I'm Miles, show up tomorrow at 9. If you're late, don't come back." The next day, Miles handed me a broken laptop. "Fix the boot issue." I stared at it. "You said you'd train me, said you could learn," he replied. "Start learning." For the next hours, I asked questions nonstop. What's this port? Why is this file corrupt? How do I recover a deleted folder? Miles sighed. "You talk too much," but he kept answering. Every answer opened a door in my mind. Every door revealed another tool I could use. A week later, he caught me staring at the screen too long. "What's eating you?" he asked. "Someone lied about me," I said. "Burned my name down," crossed his arms. "Lies always leave fingerprints." I looked up. "What does that mean?" He smirked. "If someone builds their world on lies, all you need is patience to watch it collapse." His words stuck with me like a command. That night, Ava posted a story with a tear-stained selfie and the caption, "Healing is hard when the person who hurt you won't stop." I haven't even started. Comments flooded in. "You're so strong, girl. Stay safe. Lock him." I slammed my phone on the table. She gets sympathy while I get trash thrown at me. But another voice inside me said, "Let her talk. Let her run her mouth. You'll use every lie later." The next day, Miles handed me a phone. "Client wants old messages recovered." I worked slowly, asking, "So deleted stuff can come back?" "All data leaves footprints," he said. "Especially lies." My heart beat faster. "Teach me everything." He observed me for a second. "Why? What do you want to do?" "Clear my name," I said quietly, "and destroy hers." Miles didn't flinch. "Then you'll need more than anger. You'll need control." I nodded because anger was burning me alive. But control. Control felt like clarity. Over the month, I learned how to track patterns, read digital behavior, decode metadata, recover hidden files. Every lesson felt like sharpening a blade. Eventually, Miles said, "You learn faster than most." "Motivation," I replied. "Or obsession," he said. I didn't deny it at home. I built my revenge plan like a map on my wall. First her friendships, I drew a box around her social circle. Then her reputation, another box. Then her career, a circle. And finally, her comfort. I stepped back and whispered, "You took my peace. I'll take everything else." But the world still saw me as the villain. My neighbor muttered, "He's dangerous," whenever I passed. At work, Jason whispered, "Should he even be here?" I pretended not to hear, but every word cut deeper. One night after closing the shop, I sat with Miles as he cleaned a circuit board. He suddenly said, "You know what pain does?" "What?" I asked. "It makes people careful. And revenge." I asked. He looked at me, eyes steady. "Revenge makes people smart." The words felt like a switch flipping inside me. I whispered, "Then I guess I'm getting smarter." Miles didn't smile. He just said, "Good, because the storm you're walking into, you'll need every brain cell you have." I walked home that night knowing one thing for sure. My revenge wouldn't be loud. It would be calculated, and it had officially begun. I stood at the edge of the courtyard, my phone buzzing softly in my pocket as I whispered to myself, "This is where it starts." I had spent the entire night digging through the files I'd recovered. And when I found Ava's deleted screenshots about Chloe, I almost laughed. "You really thought nobody would see this?" I muttered while forwarding the images to Chloe that morning. Chloe called me immediately. "Is this real?" she demanded, her voice sharp. "It's her words," I said. "Not mine." "Why would she say this about me?" She whispered, voice shaking. "You should ask her," I replied, letting my anger sharpen every syllable. I didn't touch them. "I'm just showing you the truth." Now, in the courtyard, Chloe marched straight toward Ava. I leaned against a pillar, heart pounding, and heard Chloe shout, "So I'm dead weight, huh? I cling to you because I have nothing else." Ava's eyes widened. "Chloe, listen, those are edited. Someone is trying to make me look bad. Blame everyone but yourself," I muttered under my breath. Feeling a cold thrill surge through me, Chloe shoved her phone into Ava's face. "These came from your number. You typed them. You saved them," Ava snapped back. "Why would I talk behind your back? You know me? That's exactly why this hurts." Chloe whispered before turning and walking away. Ava's voice cracked as she shouted after her, "Chloe, don't be stupid." I smirked. "One down," I whispered to myself, savoring the first ripple of change. Later that afternoon, I found Daniel sitting alone near the campus fountain. He eyed me warily. "You need something?" "Just clarity," I said, handing him a printout. "Ava wasn't with you because she liked you. She was using you." He frowned. "Proof?" "Her own messages," I said. "Scroll." He scanned the screenshots. "Daniel's wallet is bigger than his brain?" "Seriously." He exhaled sharply. I knew she was superficial, but damn. I nodded. "She bragged about how easy it was to get money out of you," stood up abruptly. "I'm done with her." As he walked away, I felt a strange warmth spread through my chest. My reputation was still shattered. People still whispered when I passed. But for the first time since everything collapsed, something inside me finally stirred. Life. Later, Ava stormed up to me in the hallway. You're behind this shit." I tilted my head. "Behind what?" "Chloe won't talk to me. Daniel blocked me. And someone is spreading lies. I stepped closer. Or truths you thought you'd buried. You're ruining my life." She yelled, trembling. I let a small smile touch my lips. "No, Ava. I'm just returning the favor." She stared at me, searching for a comeback that wouldn't come. I walked past her without another word, letting her anger burn behind me like a collapsing bridge. For the first time since the betrayal, I could breathe. I wasn't healed, not yet, but watching her world shake piece by piece that made me feel alive again. I knew the mask was slipping when I heard her arguing with Professor Hale outside the lecture hall. I swear I submitted it on time, Ava insisted. Her voice shaky. The professor replied calmly, "Your timestamp says otherwise." Ava, and your excuses are becoming repetitive. I walked past them, keeping my face blank, hiding the smirk pulling at my lips. Ava glared at me. "You think this is funny?" I shrugged. Didn't say a word. "You don't have to," she snapped. "People keep twisting things around me lately." "Things are untwisting," I murmured before walking away. By noon, I could feel the shift around campus. Her friends weren't clustered around her anymore. She kept trying to join conversations, but people answered her with half smiles and excuses. "Is it just me?" I overheard one girl whisper, "Or is Ava always dramatic?" Another replied, "She lies a lot, like a lot." I stood near the vending machines, pretending not to listen, but inside, I felt like a ghost moving through the crowd, tugging strings nobody could see later. I spotted Ethan leaning against a wall while Ava ranted to him. "I'm telling you, people are turning on me," she said. "It's not my fault. They're all jealous." Tsk. "Babe, maybe it's not everyone else. You've been acting weird lately?" "Weird?" she repeated, stunned. "I'm the one being attacked." He rubbed the back of his neck. I need honesty. That's all." Quietly slipped past them, invisible, savoring every crack forming in her perfect world. That night, as I walked home, my phone buzzed with a message from her. "Ava, hey, just checking on you. Haven't heard from you in a while? You okay?" I laughed. "Now you care," I whispered. "Ava, I know things have been strange between us. I hope you're not mad." I locked my phone and tossed it onto my bed. "Pretending won't save you," I said to the empty room. I didn't reply. 2 days later, Miles looked up from his desk at the shop as I walked in. "You're quieter than usual," he said. "Planning something?" I nodded. "She's applying for a huge internship. Thinks it'll fix everything." Miles leaned back. "And you want to break that illusion?" "I want to show the world who she really is," I said. "No lies, no masks." He gave a slow nod. "Then do it right. Clean. Precise. No anger, just truth." "That's the plan." I spent the next hour pulling up her old assignments, the ones I knew weren't hers. I found the copied sections, the stolen paragraphs, the forums where she'd bought essays. Each piece slid neatly into the report I built. Miles walked over and glanced at my screen. "Professional," he said. "Cold. Effective. That's how she'll feel when they read it," I replied. "Remember," he said quietly, "revenge isn't noise. It's pressure. One steady push at a time." I looked him in the eye. "I'm only halfway done." He patted my shoulder and stepped back. "Then keep your hands steady." When I finished, I read the report one last time. It didn't sound emotional. It didn't sound angry. It sounded like evidence, undeniable, clear. Prepared by someone who refused to be a victim again. I attached it to the internship company's anonymous ethics inbox. My finger hovered over the send button for half a second. Then I whispered, "Let the mask fall," and pressed it. The message delivered instantly. I leaned back in my chair, feeling the quiet satisfaction settle in my chest. Ava thought her life was just getting stressful. But as I closed the laptop, I smiled to myself. She had no idea how much further she had to fall. I heard her before I saw her. No, this can't be real." Ava cried near the courtyard fountain. I stepped behind a column, listening as Ethan held her shoulders. "They rejected me," she sobbed. "They said I showed a pattern of dishonesty." "Ethan, I didn't do anything wrong." Ethan asked softly, "Is there something you're not telling me?" She jerked away from him. "You think I'm lying too? Seriously?" "I'm asking," he said. "You're supposed to believe me." "I'm trying," he whispered. I watched her crumble, her perfect mask cracking. She clung to him like he was her last anchor. "Please," she begged, "just tell me this isn't my fault." Ethan didn't answer. That silence was louder than any accusation. When she finally walked off, wiping her eyes, Ethan stayed back, staring at the ground. I turned away, ready to leave, but his voice stopped me. "Hey," he called. "Can we talk?" I paused. "About what?" He walked closer. "I know you didn't do what she said." My chest tightened. "Why are you telling me that now?" "Because I've been watching," he said. "The way you avoid everyone. The way she talks about you. Something never added up, and now it does." I asked. He exhaled. "She lies. A lot. I didn't want to admit it, but yeah." For the first time in a long time, someone wasn't looking at me like I was a monster. "What do you want from me?" I asked. "Nothing. I thought you should know someone believes you." "That's new," I muttered, surprising myself with how raw it sounded. He shifted awkwardly. "Look, I'm not here to be a hero. I'm just tired of pretending she's this harmless angel." I raised an eyebrow. "So you're done with her?" "No," he said quickly. "Not yet. I need more clarity. But I can tell you stuff she hides, stuff she says when she thinks no one's listening." "Why help me?" I asked. "Because lies ruin people," he said. "And I'm starting to think her lies ruined you." For a moment, warmth bloomed inside me, validation, rare and dangerous. "What do you want me to do with the information?" I asked. "That's your call," he said. "But if you're trying to expose the truth, I won't stop you." I nodded. "Fine, then start talking." He told me about the fights, the manipulation, the guilt-tripping. Every sentence he spoke was another thread unraveling Ava's web. By the time he finished, the pieces fit together perfectly. When he walked away, I whispered to myself, "Unexpected allies, interesting," at the next day. Word spread through campus that Ava was asking questions, too many questions. I overheard her cornering Chloe near the library. "Someone's messing with my life," she hissed. "I think it's him," Chloe answered coldly. "Why would he bother with you now?" "That's what I'm trying to find out," Ava snapped. Later, as I walked down the hallway, two guys whispered behind me, "Is he stalking her?" One asked. "She said he might be," the other replied. I clenched my jaw. Ava was trying to flip the narrative again. That night I told Miles, "She's getting suspicious." He replied, "Pressure creates noise. Stay quiet," and she exposed herself. "I'm not stopping," I said. He gave a small nod, then let the hunted chase shadows. As I left the shop, I felt the tension rising like a storm behind me. Ava thought I was stalking her, but really she was the one being hunted. When I walked into campus that morning, I heard Ava's voice shaking outside the department office. "Please." "Professor Rhodes," she pleaded, "you know I wouldn't plagiarize." "Someone is setting me up." The professor's tone was cold. "Ava, the evidence is clear. Entire paragraphs were copied. You will attend the academic hearing next week." I didn't do this," she cried. "You said that last semester too," he replied. "I gave you the benefit of the doubt then. I won't repeat that mistake." She gasped. "So you don't believe me at all?" "No," he said flatly. "Not anymore." The door shut. Hard. Ava covered her face and whispered, "Why is this happening to me?" I didn't say a word. I just walked past her. She didn't even notice. By noon, the group chat explosion started. "Chloe, why are you lying about me?" Ava shouted across the cafeteria. Chloe stood up calmly. "I'm not lying." "You used me. You told everyone I cheated on my ex. You said it to be funny." I kept quiet. "Not anymore. I didn't mean it like that." Ava snapped. Daniel slammed his phone on the table. "You said I was broke and easy to manipulate. You think I wouldn't find out?" Ava froze. "Daniel, I never." He held up his screen. "You texted it," she whispered. "I didn't know that screenshot still existed." "It always exists," he said. "You just stopped caring who you hurt." Voices rose. Chairs scraped. People stared. Ava whispered. "Everyone's turning against me," Chloe replied. "No, you pushed us away. We're just finally stepping back." I watched from the hallway, quiet, invisible, exactly where I wanted to be. That evening, I walked into the repair shop. Miles looked up from the counter. "You look satisfied," he said. I'm watching her world fall apart, I answered, piece by piece.
That
was always the plan, he said. But don't let your life freeze while hers burns. I'm trying, I said. Good. Because there's something for you. He handed me a paper. A job referral. My old friend at Dynatech needs someone dependable. I blinked. You're serious? You worked hard. You learned fast. You kept your head down even when you wanted to scream. He smirked. That's discipline. Companies love that. Thank you, I said, and for once I meant it without bitterness. Don't thank me, he replied. Just show them who you are without all the lies around you. Later that night, I heard a knock on my apartment door. I opened it to see Liam standing there, hands shaking. Can we talk? He asked. I leaned against the frame. About what? He swallowed hard. I should have believed you. I let Ava control the whole story. And I'm sorry now. You're sorry? I asked. Chloe told me everything she found, he said. I saw the messages. I saw the way Ava lied about everyone, not just you. He looked down. I didn't want to think she could lie like that. So I blamed you, I breathed out slowly. You hurt me worse than most people. I know, he whispered. But if you'll let me, I want to make it right. I didn't answer right away. The silence stretched finally, I said. I'm not ready to forgive you, he nodded. I understand, but I added, you can try. Slowly, his shoulders eased. Thank you, as I closed the door behind him. I looked at my reflection in the glass. My life was rebuilding new job. New skills, new strength. Hers was collapsing, friends gone. Trust dead. Future cracking apart. Exactly how I planned it. And I wasn't finished yet. My phone rang just as I was leaving class. Mr. Ian, please come to the dean's office immediately, the secretary said. It's urgent, sure, I replied, keeping my voice steady. When I arrived, Ava was already there, pacing and muttering. He hacked my accounts. He's stalking me. You have to do something. She cried as soon as she saw me. The dean raised an eyebrow. Is that so, Ms. Miller? Yes, Ava snapped. He's been in my emails, my files, everything. I stayed calm, letting her storm first. Dean, may I explain? Go ahead, he said, leaning back in his chair. I haven't touched her accounts, I said. Not once. I was home last night working on a freelance project. My roommates can confirm it. The dean's eyes narrowed. Roommates. Liam and Sarah, I said. Both can vouch for me. I can also show timestamps on my work files. Ava scoffed. Those are lies. He's always careful. He could have done it without anyone noticing. I don't need to be careful because I didn't do it, I replied evenly. The dean frowned, flipping through some papers. Ms. Miller, we've reviewed recent complaints and reports about your behavior, she gasped. What do you mean? We have more concerns about your conduct than his, he said firmly. Her face froze, eyes wide. I don't understand. I watched her stumble, trying to find words that wouldn't come. The balance I'd waited a year for was unfolding right in front of me. The dean turned to me. Mr. Ian, we believe your account of events. If there's further harassment, we'll act immediately. Understood? Yes, sir, I said, calm and measured. Ava tried one last breathless protest. You're lying. You're lying. The dean shook his head. No, Ms. Miller, it's over. Later that evening, I walked past the main hallway and saw Ava sitting alone. Ethan approached her quietly. We need to talk, he said softly. She looked up, hopeful. Please don't leave me. I can't do this anymore, he said. I can't be with someone who manipulates and lies constantly. No, Ethan, please, she begged, tears streaming down her face. He shook his head. It's over. Her cries echoed down the empty hallway. No one came to comfort her. Her voice sounded exactly like mine had the night she ruined me, the desperation. The pleading. The realization that no one would side with her. I paused by the stairwell, watching quietly. Breathing in the balance finally restored. Ava's world was silent in a way that hurt her deeply. I whispered to myself. This is what it felt like that night she destroyed me. The emptiness around her was perfect. a mirror to my own loneliness from months ago. But now, I didn't feel hollow. I felt justice settling like a weight in my chest. I didn't move closer. I didn't gloat. I just let her sob, knowing the lesson had reached its mark. For the first time in months, the air felt even her lies had failed. Her masks had fallen, and the night that once defined my pain now defined her reckoning. I sat at my desk late at night, fingers hovering over the keyboard. The audio file was ready. The real, unedited conversation with every pause, every word, every timestamp. I uploaded it to an anonymous server, making sure it was traceable only to the proof folder I had created months ago. This ends tonight, I whispered to myself. The next morning, I didn't even check my phone immediately. I let the chaos find me. By the second class, whispers had spread through the halls like wildfire. Did you hear? The audio? It's real. People were lying about him this whole time. I leaned against the locker, pretending to scroll through my messages, but I heard everything. Every gasp, every shocked whisper, every shift in tone as the truth sank in. Ava stormed past me, phone in hand. Who did this? She yelled. Someone exposing the truth, I said softly, letting the words hang in the air. Her eyes widened. You, it wasn't you. I shook my head. I didn't need to be seen. The evidence speaks for itself. She ran to Chloe, waving her phone. Chloe, they posted it. You have to believe me. Chloe looked at her calmly. The timestamps match. You edited it. Everyone can hear it now, Ava stammered. I didn't, Daniel approached from behind. You twisted my messages, Ava. You twisted everything. People believed you. Not anymore. Ava's lips trembled. No, this can't be happening. Not like this. By lunch, the professors had caught wind. I overheard snippets in the hallways. Ms. Miller? Care to explain why you submitted a falsified account? You have proof? She pleaded. Yes, one professor said, voice firm, clear, unedited audio. It contradicts your claims entirely. Ava's face went pale. I thought I could fix it. You should have thought of that before you ruined his reputation, another replied. I watched from a distance, quiet and unseen. The satisfaction wasn't loud. It was the subtle nod in my chest that told me justice was finally balanced. During the afternoon, I finally got a text from Ethan. Ethan, I don't know if you realize, but they're finally seeing the truth. You didn't deserve any of it. I smiled faintly. Thanks, I typed back. By the evening, people who had avoided me whispered behind my back, even laughed at me. They were now offering quiet apologies. Some stopped me in the hall. I'm sorry for what I said. You didn't deserve that. I nodded, letting them speak. The shame I'd felt for months had flipped. I heard her cries echoing down the hallway that night. Ava ran from class to class, frantically trying to salvage what little respect remained. She begged teachers, classmates, anyone who would listen. But the proof was undeniable. Clear, clean, irrefutable. I sat on my bed, phone in hand, replaying the audio once more. Every word, every timestamp, every pause was perfect. My name was cleared publicly. Loudly, fully. I finally let myself breathe. And yet, I knew she still had one thing left to lose. Her reputation shattered, friends gone, internship dreams destroyed, but the final piece of her world, what she truly valued, was still in play. I smiled quietly, feeling the last thread of her control slip from her fingers. One more step, I thought. One final move, then it would be over. But for now, the truth had spoken, and the world had finally listened.
I spotted her behind the library before she noticed me. Ava was slouched against the brick wall, shoulders shaking, hands clutching a crumpled notebook. Her eyes were red, streaked with tears, and her phone was gone. You found me, she whispered when she finally looked up. I could say the same, I replied quietly, stepping closer, her voice cracked. I know I don't deserve this, but please, can you forgive me? I studied her for a moment, the girl who had destroyed everything I worked for in 15 seconds. Her hands trembled. I was angry, jealous, scared of losing control, she said, voice barely above a whisper. I didn't think, You ruined my life in 15 seconds, I interrupted, my voice steady. I spent a year fixing it, and now we're even. She stared at me wide-eyed like she couldn't believe it. Even? She asked, choking back another sob. Yes, I said calmly. Even. But everything I did, everything you did caught up to you, I said. Your friends left, your reputation shattered, your internship gone, your parents took your phone, your world crumbled because of the choices you made. I know I hurt you, she whispered. And I'm sorry. I was stupid, reckless, I didn't think about anyone but myself. I didn't move closer. I didn't hug her. I didn't even speak another word. I just want a chance, she pleaded. Just one chance to make things right. I shook my head slowly. There's nothing left to fix with me, Ava. The year I spent rebuilding, that was my life, my work, my growth. You don't get to erase that with apologies. Her knees buckled slightly. Please, I was afraid. Afraid you'd move on without me. Afraid I'd lose everything. I didn't know how to handle it. You handled it by hurting me, I said. That's the difference. She wiped her tears and tried to speak again, voice trembling. Can't we just, I don't know, pretend it never happened? I took a deep breath. No, Ava. We can't pretend. But we can close this chapter. For both of us. You learn, I move on. She let out a shuddering sob and nodded slowly. I understand. Maybe I'll never forgive myself, but that's not my burden, I said, turning toward the library exit. My steps were light, my chest uncluttered, my shoulders finally free of the weight I'd carried for a year. Her voice broke after me. Please don't hate me. I didn't turn around. I don't hate you. I just don't need you in my life anymore. I walked past the fountain, past the empty benches, past the echo of her cries, and for the first time in months I felt light. Free. I thought of Chloe and Daniel, of Ethan and Liam, of Miles, everyone who had played a part in this tangled mess. Justice had been served quietly, completely, and without my rage consuming me. The hallway felt wide. The sky outside looked brighter than it had in months. I inhaled deeply, savoring the peace I had fought to earn. Ava's sobs were distant now, a reminder of balance restored. I didn't look back. 1 year, one careful, strategic year of patience, planning, and perseverance. 1 year of rebuilding myself while watching her unravel. And now it was over. The library doors slid open ahead of me, sunlight spilling across the floors, and I stepped into it like a man leaving a cage behind. I was free, finally free.